This is Dennis Michelsen. It's time to go down on the farm and talk to Mr. Scott Lay from the Agricen Company. Today we're going to be talking about the product called Terramar. Scott, would it be fair to say that the main reason that an ag producer would want to add Terramar to their lineup is to reduce stress?
That is the essence of it. Farmers inherently understand that weather-induced stress, which takes on different forms as the season moves along. Early season, oftentimes it's cold, but as we move into the months of June and July, the impact of drought and or heat is one of the greatest yield robbers that the farmers face. And up until this point, short of going to church on Sunday and praying for more moderate temperatures and rain, there's not been a heck of a lot a guy could do to address stress.
One thing for sure, Scott, we always know that something will put our crop under stress every growing season.
We rewind to the growing season of 2023 across much of the Midwest. The months of May and June were abnormally dry and in some places excessively hot, and that extended into July through reproductive stages. The Terramar product that we're talking about is a foliar product that was new to the market last year. And it does two things. One, minimize the effect of stress, heat, drought, and early season cold. But then secondly, the other aspect to it, in addition to minimizing stress, is stimulating that plant to pull in more nutrients. And again, with that 1-2 punch, minimizing the effect of a weather stress while pulling more nutrients into the plant to aid in chlorophyll production and photosynthetic capacity, that equals a better chance for yield at harvest time.
All right, Scott, how and when is this product applied?
Terramar is designed to be applied post-emerge throughout the growing season. It's a combination of a biological extraction of kelp, which speaks to the part that modifies stress, and then the other component is a biological extraction of carbon. Carbon is a key component to any crop, aids in photosynthetic capacity, increase in carbon fixation in the plant. So as we think about what it's doing, and then retrofit when to apply it. Really, it can go early post-emerge in the vegetative stages with a post-emerge herbicide in advance of stresses presenting themselves to the crop. And then as the crop matures, as we get into the reproductive stages, where oftentimes a fungicide is applied for the purpose of minimizing the impact of disease, and a dose of Terramar applied at that timing carries on another 2 to 4 weeks where, again, we're minimizing the impact of stress, which we can measure by canopy temperature. We did a number of trials last year across Indiana, Michigan, and Minnesota to quantify the impact of canopy temperature that Terramar has on the plant in both corn and soybeans. And what we saw is throughout the course of a July day in the summer, the canopy temperature, where Terramar was treated, was 3 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit lower. So just in that reproductive stage, if you can minimize the actual canopy temperature of that plant, of that growing environment, that plant's more efficient in reproducing and filling, whether it be an ear of corn, or kernel of corn, or a soybean, or wheat, or whatever the fruit may be of that crop.
Because we always think about drought as a big stressor of crops, but what about heat? We get those hot nights where the temperature doesn't drop much below 75. That plant needs all the help it can get to stay out of stress, or we're losing bushels.
That is absolutely correct. And while drought is more localized and more difficult to predict on any given year, heat is more general and happens in every zip code, in every crop, and every year. The impact of heat, as you just articulated, is significant. Again, if we can moderate the temperature of the canopy, we're minimizing the impact of heat. It's not a replacement for a 60-degree night, but if we can minimize the impact of those warm July and August evenings and give that plant a better chance to photosynthesize, to transpire water and nutrients, again, that translates or correlates very nicely to better yield potential.
That you have done the trials in lab, you have done the trials out there in a real-life situation, but farmers are a little bit concerned about the grain prices nowadays. What's the ROI that we can expect?
I think even in the price environment where we are today, the importance of maximizing yield actually becomes more critical. If you're going to have a chance at maintaining anything close to last year's revenue and the price isn't there, you need more bushels. So as it relates to the trials we've conducted, and these are both our university, third-party trials, as well as farmer-conducted side-by-side, where we let people give it a try and tell us what they see. The results have been very consistent. Corn, the average is 7 to 10 bushel response. Soybeans, 4 to 7 bushels. In wheat, again, a lot of the winter wheat applications are taking place now with those fungicide, flag leaf fungicide timings. We found the average to be somewhere in the range of 5 to 8 bushels. All told, again, regardless of, so for every dollar invested for Terramar, farmer could expect $3 to $4 in return as a result of an increased yield result.
Yes, Mr. Scott Lay from Agricen, thank you so much for going down on the farm with me today.